Hey everybody, it's John, owner of The Simplest Biz, about the pallet recycling business. Today I wanted to cover an important topic. You know, when we're in business or looking to get into business, to be successful, we have to determine how many wins on a daily basis do we have to accomplish to create the revenue for the security of our family. How many hurdles, how many wins do we have to win at on any given day to get to that point? And I wanted to go over a few different careers and business models and juxtapose that against the amount of wins it takes to do this business and give you some clarity, I think, of what it takes to evaluate what you're going to have to do to get to where you want to be. Because I know some of you folks are out there looking at all different types of business models. You know, if you saw this on the internet, I imagine you've probably been inundated with internet-based businesses. So let's start with that. What kind of wins, what kind of hurdles do I have to do on a daily basis to win at being an internet marketer, as an example? So first, you have to be trained up. Now, let's say you do websites. With a website, you have to learn, sometimes you have to learn code, you have to learn SEO for on-site SEO, off-site SEO. You have to learn link building. You have to learn tools such as SEMrush for keyword research and backlinking, Majestic, which is another tool, and when you get into these tools, it's a whole nother layer of learning that you have to conquer to even start your goal to win. In addition, now you've mastered these tools over months and months of painstaking study, and then you have to learn how to market yourself, right? So now you have to learn funnels, have to learn how to generate traffic, you have to learn how to identify who your audience is, you have to learn the Facebook ad tools if you use stuff like that, or YouTube, the algorithm. But then what happens? Google changes their algorithm. Facebook changes their algorithm. Just changed Google My Business this week. So all this to be said, when you evaluate a business, we need to determine how many wins we need on a daily basis to get where we want to be. When it comes to internet-based businesses, there are hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of steps of learning and accomplishing the goals and the micro steps that you have to do to actually even build a website. And then not only do you need to know how to build it, but then you got to know the proper way to build it for it to rank and all the backlinking that you have to do to make that happen. So there are layers and layers of wins that have to take place to get to it. Okay, let's take another example, then I'll juxtapose both these two examples, to what the hurdles are, the wins that we have to get to be successful in this particular business model, the simplest biz. So let's say you're a truck driver. Now, we have schooling. We have to have money to pay for that schooling. That's a hurdle. That's a win that we have to win you'd have to do to make happen. I would imagine being a fish out of water, going from not knowing how to drive a truck and a semi truck and getting that CDL. And I would imagine it's quite nerve-wracking to go through that process of moving a truck, backing one up onto a dock or whatever. I would imagine that's a hurdle to get over, your fear of doing what you have to do. And then on a daily basis, once you accomplish the training and getting a job, sometimes they have job placement. So there's a shortage of truck drivers. Getting the job is not the issue. The hurdle of paying for the gas is the issue. Are you going to be an owner operator? Are you working for the company? What are those wins look like that you have to tackle? Now we have the job. We are an owner operator as an example. And then we have to drive mile after mile and day after day to create that revenue for ourselves to generate money for our family. But the truck driver, we can only drive so many miles a day, right? You have to have downtime. You have to keep logbooks. That's another win you have to do on a daily basis. Winning at business is small wins on a daily basis. I'm just trying to get the point across of what is it going to take for you to get to the goal that you need to do. How many hundreds or thousands of wins do you have to accomplish to get to the point of financial freedom? Okay. I could keep going with the trucks as far as the cost of diesel, the weigh station, being tired on the road, repairs of the truck. I can go on and on of the wins that you have to win at to be successful in that particular endeavor. Okay, so let's juxtapose that to the pallet industry. What are you going to need to be successful to make full-time income to replace what you're doing currently? And that really comes down to 3 or 4 accounts. Even an account ordering 200 pallets a week, which takes you a couple hours to do because we're not traveling miles and miles and miles like a truck driver. We're not having to master the algorithm of Facebook or Google to get this done. Now, you are going to take 3.5 days of training and you'll have a support group. But once you have that, now we need 3 accounts to start out, get out of the gate. One account ordering 200 pallets a week. All right, 200 pallets a week, get them for free, sell them for $8 a piece, $1,600. All right. So how many miles would you have to drive to get that $1,600 get? So we're needing that account and we're needing a supplier. So there's 2 wins we need, not hundreds. Next one, the next account could be the same account as the one ordering pallets and ordering 200 corrugated boxes to the same business that needs the pallets. So we didn't have to jump over and have another win for another account. We're selling to the same business we already started with. So when we make a $4 profit per box on those, so that's $800 in addition. Now we're at a $2,400 get with just one account, right, per week. Even if it was half of that, we're still at a good win. So supplier and a buyer, 2 wins. Now, are we going to have to see a few businesses in the beginning to make that happen? Yeah, but what's the end result? The supplier and the buyer recur every week, meaning the supplier generates these pallets week after week after week. The buyer buys these pallets in boxes week after week after week. Okay? So we don't have to constantly beat the pavement to get our next win. It's built into the model itself, recurring revenue. That's how you evaluate a business. So let's go to customer number 2. 100 pallets a week. At $6 a piece, $600 additional. 600 times 52, that's $30,000 a year from that additional account. What if they also need crates at $25 a pop? And they need, 30 crates a week. Well, you're adding additional $600, $700 revenue per week to that second customer. So it's having multiple revenue streams from each customer. Then we have other slivers of action. We have passive income that you can layer over. So we're not even having to move stuff from point A to point B. We're the middleman. So let's say it's a custom built pallet. We're making $2 per pallet, but we're not having to build it. We're not having to deliver it. But 500 of them a week are going to a customer. Well, that's another $52,000 a year, $2 profit, 500 pallets. We don't leave the house. And we're pulling in $52,000 a year from an account like that on a custom built markup of $2 per pallet with passive income coming in the mailbox week after week. Juxtapose that to the 2 other items I just mentioned, whether it be internet-based business or whether it be a truck driver or you're a teacher or a nurse or a financial planner. What are the wins in the multitude of wins that you have to accomplish on a daily basis to get to where you want to be in comparison to this flipping model with pallets? There's not as much prestige in the pallet business as far as maybe it doesn't look so sexy from the outside looking in, but your time freedom's sexy. The amount of times it takes to actually make some money is pretty sexy. If you can move 200 pallets in a couple hours or an hour in the morning, that's pretty sexy, because we have to determine a revenue source for our business that's 1, recurring, 2, maximizes ourselves and multiplies ourselves. So we won't work by the hour or by the salary. We're trading units for money. Also, it's a nursing, I guess there's a shortage of nurses and a shortage of truck drivers, so it's not hard getting a job in those industries. There's a lot of industries out there where it's glutted. You think about the internet, how many ads do you see on a daily basis trying to tell you to be an affiliate marketer, as example? So you have, Amazon, people who do Amazon, millions upon millions of people that you're competing with that are trying to attain the same goal, and all the tools and tactics you have to do to get to that goal is my point. So think about that when you're evaluating what you're going to do next, because if you're watching this video or a video like this, you are in a position where you are trying to figure out, how am I going to beat inflation? How am I going to retire earlier? How am I going to supplement my income? How am I going to pay for my student loan? Whatever the case may be, we need a faster track to that goal. If that's the position you're in, I want to help as many people as possible get to that goal, cheat the system like I've been cheating it for the last 24 years, and have that happen for you with my particular model. Again, this may not be anything that you're interested in as well, being the pallet recycling business, because it just doesn't seem like something you want to do. But before you decide that, understand what it takes to be successful in any given model that you're going to gravitate toward. Me personally, I love this model. I wouldn't have been doing it for the last 24 years and teaching people how to do it if I wasn't passionate about it and, giggled all these years on the way to work because I knew I could be on the golf course by 9 o'clock. And I started at 7 a.m. and I could be at the golf course by 9 a.m. So money freedom, time freedom is freedom. Okay? Thanks for spending time with me. I hope this made sense. TheSimplestBiz.com if this is something you want to look into further. And we'll go from there. Take care.